What is up, boys? We're going to go ahead and get started right out of the gate with this one. I know this is one you guys aren't going to want to watch, but I'm glad that you guys are a part of this show. We're obviously coming off of a loss to the Bengals. I'm going to get into the film. I have a systematic approach of how we're going to break it down. I'll get into all of that. I appreciate you guys being here. Listen, we're going to be fine. We're going to be fine. Think about it. Just for a little bit of context, a little bit of perspective. This time last year, we were 4-8. We were 4-8 this time last year. It's mostly the same team. We added Calvin Ridley and Anton Harrison. But same team, same coach, same division. We're 4-8 last year. Now we're 8-4. The sky is not falling. The sky is not falling, all right? Us Jaguar fans, we have a tendency of getting the highest of highs and the lowest of lows. Let's try to operate somewhere in the middle, all right? So let's try to do that. Before we get into the film, follow the Instagram, follow the Twitter, subscribe to the YouTube channel, hit the notification bell. We usually do live shows Tuesday and Friday nights at 9 p.m., so make sure you're a part of that. This is a fan show. So get into the comments. You can see the comments over here. We're already in here. All right, we're already in here. So I try to get to all the comments. If I miss it, just type it again. I want to get your perspective. What are your thoughts on the future of the Jags? What are you worried about? What are you not worried about? What do you think people may be overreacting about? Is this the end of the world to you? We'll have to see. We always shout out the first person in the chat, and the first two people in the chat were channel members. Thank you. The channel members are what keep this thing going. So thank you, Sea Breacher and Volkfang. Sea Breacher says, yo. Volkfang says, ugh. I know. I feel like that's the, like Volkfang sums up how we're feeling. Graham Dennis says, it's going to be okay, guys. I'm with you, Graham. I'm with you. Mark Moon says, why? Kyle Simmons says, here, son. Jaggernaut says, hello, everybody. Sigrin88 says, defense was a major L. Yeah. Volkfang says, I think I died yesterday from all the stress. I was at the stadium, right? So I was at the game. And, like, I'm one of these guys. I'm one of the annoying fans. I'm one of the annoying fans that every time we're on defense, I'm yelling at the top of my lungs, trying to create as much noise as possible, right? You have the different types of people. You have the sitters that just sit in their seat. You have the people that stand. I appreciate the standing. You have the clappers. They just clap to make noise, which is okay. It's better than nothing. Then you have the people like me that are jumping up and down yelling. And I get that I'm annoying. But we get 7 home games a year, boys. 7. So I'm going to be jumping up and down, making as much noise on defense as possible. And because we were in the game for so long, I was yelling all game. I'm surprised my voice didn't go hoarse, but that was me. That was me yelling. I actually had a great time. A lot of my friends came to the game. Obviously, when Trevor got injured, the air was sucked out of the building. But I still, like, in retrospect, having a day to be depressed, which is okay. Take a day, right? Take a day, and let's get back on it. So let's get back on it here. Here's how the film breakdown is going to go. Okay, we're going to look at the film kind of like the players do in the film room. What does that mean? There might be a little bit of tough love going on here, okay? We may call some people out. We may praise some people. I always like to say this. We may call some players out for their lack of execution on certain plays. By no means do I think I can do their job better. These people are professionals. They're amazing athletes. Every single one of them that made it to the league. Nothing about their character or even them as an athlete. But on the particular play, if we get on their ass, it's because they didn't execute on that play. So let's get that out of the way now, okay? Nothing against them. That's just how we're going to do it. So we're going to start with the good. I'm sorry, we're going to start with the bad, and then we're going to go to the good because there was some good things, and I think there's some things that we could be okay with CJ Beathard. I think we're okay. Montana donated $2 through the super chat. He says, first super chat. Yes, you were, Montana. I appreciate it. Thank you for the $2. I appreciate it. Montana's always giving super chats around here. So, Montana, if I haven't told you in a while, thank you. I appreciate you always being here. I appreciate you donating to this stream. All right, again, there's a lot of comments coming in. I'm going to try to hit as many as I can. If I miss it, just type it again. All right. Volkfang says defense equals L. Health of our key players equals L. Our ability to outplay the need for calls to go our way, also an L. Timmy Devil says season is a wrap, which is not surprising coming from Timmy Devil, because Timmy Devil likes to keep it real and maybe on this hint of side of pessimism. But it's not. Timmy, it's not. The season is not a wrap. Not even. I mean, Trevor's got the high ankle sprain. Yeah. I mean, it's probably a grade 2 if I had to guess in my medical opinion with all the medical experience I have. It's probably a grade 2, which means he's probably going to be out till close to the end of the season. But it's not like we have some random dude coming in. Beathard's been with the team for a long time. And Doug Peterson has a history of winning with backup quarterbacks. So I could argue if we were to be in a situation to play a backup quarterback, we have the best coach for it. And I even took it a step further today when I was racking my brain through my depression today. I started thinking about the last 2 seasons. It's hard to find a team in the last 2 seasons that hasn't lost their quarterback for a significant amount of time. That's the modern NFL. It is what it is. They already protect them a lot, but it's hard to find a team whose quarterback has somehow escaped a serious injury over the last 2 years. It's the reality of the situation. You got to have a backup in the NFL nowadays. You got to have a key skill position players who can kind of put the team on their back. You have to have a defense that can step up for a few games here and there. You have to have it. So, I do want to get to all these comments, guys. I'm definitely going to get to Shay's comment here. Dude, I took a picture of Shay was on the field, not the water boy, but Shay was on the field at one point for a long time. And I zoomed in on my phone and I took a close-up picture of Shay. And I was like, look at Shay. He did a great job. Shay, let me just hand it to you right now. I don't think I've ever seen someone do your job as well as you did yesterday. I mean, I don't think you didn't even flinch a muscle. I mean, if there was a Pro Bowl for replay officials, Shay, you're going. You're all pro. You're going to the Pro Bowl. All right, let's get to some of this film. All right, we're going to start with the bad. Again, nothing personal. Don't get mad at me, boys. All right, and it's not going to be in any I have the PFF grades up here. I know it's easy to talk about how Clavon Chazon was the highest rated PFF player, but that's okay. We're not going to do that right now. Maybe we'll do that later. Okay, so a glaring issue is the offensive line, and I'm just going to be real with y'all. The offensive line, specifically the interior offensive line, was not good on Monday. We could not run the ball between the tackles. It prevented us from doing play action. We tried to do play action to run plays to the middle of the field and between the tackles, and then the defense didn't bite because they knew we couldn't do it. All right, so Luke Fortner, I don't want to say is regressing. I don't want to say that. But it seems like he is. Like, he is unable to get his hands on defensive tackles. Like, he's making mistakes we see kids at the high school level make. And obviously he got to this point, but we're going to look through a few plays here of the interior offensive line and mainly Luke Fortner really being a liability. And again, you guys know me. I was trying to be patient with him. I was like, he's young. He's never injured. He's played every snap since he's been drafted. He's got continuity with the quarterback, but just not good here. All right, so we're going to keep your eye on Luke Fortner here. A little, I think it's an inside run play, or a little stretch run play. I mean, the guy he's responsible for blocking just basically has no problem getting past. I mean, that's just a poor effort. I don't know if it's a bad angle. I don't know if he doesn't get across his body to block. But dude, you got to get a better block than that. That's not good. That is not good at all right there. All right. Another one here. Again, we're going to keep our eye on the center, Luke Fortner. He's going to pull out in space. I mean, we end up getting a good run here, and I guess you would give him credit for using leverage of getting on the right side of the linebacker. The linebacker takes a bad angle, tries to win with speed rather than winning, through the block. But, again, just blocks nobody. Just blocks nobody right there. I mean, you got to be better than that. Again, Luke Fortner here at the center. All right, so here you're in an interesting, here you kind of have no excuse because pre-snap, you're looking at the defensive line's formation. You have a 3-tech here, a 3-tech here, and you have a nose tackle. Just head up. So there's no questions on who you're blocking. No questions at all on who you're blocking. You have this nose tackle who's lined up directly in front of you, okay? Trevor changes the play or something. I mean, this play was a well-called pass route. Now, I didn't clip it from the sideline. A well-played pass concept, but he just has no time to get through his progressions. Now, maybe Trevor should have gone the other direction and stayed in the pocket the other way. But, like, dude, you're like, when we call this, when we're talking about blocking on the offensive line, we call this a chicken wing block. When you just chicken wing like this and try to block. That's not how you block. You got to get your hands on them. You got to push. I mean, this is just a chicken wing right here, man. And then Trevor ends up taking a pretty big hit on this play. I mean, you got to be better than that, Fortner. You just really got to be better than that. Let's see here. We have another play here. This is more just like, again, like nobody's blocking. Sheriff gets pushed into the backfield. Ezra Cleveland can't get across the defensive tackle's body, and Fortner blocks nobody. Like, this is just completely unacceptable. It is unacceptable. You're not helping your team. You're not helping your quarterback. The only thing you did right here was snap the ball to the quarterback under center. It just is. Like, you have got to be better than this. And this isn't like a lack of technique. And this is what kills me. And again, I love you, Luke. I'm sure you're a great person. You got to be better than this. And this is why I'm okay with saying this and being so kind of blunt about it. Because the coaches are saying the same thing. He's not watching this. He's watching it with his coaches, and they are saying the exact same thing I'm saying. This is a lack of effort. A lack of effort. This is a lack of intensity. This is a lack of commitment to the run game. That's all that is. You can't tell me this is a lack of skill because the guy doesn't even try here. And it's completely taken away our ability to run anything between the tackles. It takes away your play action between the tackles. We have to run the ball to the outside. We have to get to the edge every single run play. We have to throw it out in the quick screen game. This is not good. This is not good at all. 3rd and 1. Late in the game. We need 1 yard to keep the drive going. Can't run the ball. Now, Blake Hance is in for Anton Harrison for 1 play here. But this is just, we have got to be better. We have got to be better blocking on the interior. Leads to a punt. I don't know if I've shown this play already because there's so many. I don't think I have. Again, this is a situation where we just, Blake Hance just, I mean, they called a corner blitz here and we ran. It wasn't good. It was too predictable. Just not good, man. Just not. I mean, it's quite frankly, it's unacceptable. It's not like what we just saw warrants being replaced by Tyler Shatley. Tyler Shatley can play center. He did it 2 years ago. I mean, there's no way you can put Tyler Shatley in at center and it be any worse than that, unless they can't snap the ball unless he can't snap the ball. Unless there's a fumbled exchange, it does not get any worse than that. Like, I'm sorry. That's just the reality of the situation. So, hopefully, I don't think he'll be replaced, but hopefully he uses this as motivation to be better, because this is just, quite frankly, bad. And to be honest, a lot of players played bad. I don't know if we just lack the clutch gene, because when we play at home, we play under the lights in primetime games, we just all fall apart. Aluakon had one of his worst games of the season last night. Devin Lloyd had one of his worst games of the season last night. Tyson Campbell, one of the worst games of the season last week. And I'm not talking PFF grades. I'm talking like we're going to see it on film. Like, you picked a bad time. You guys are picking a bad time to play your worst games. Let me get to some of these comments here. Again, I'm backed up here. Volkfang says, I was so excited to watch the Monday Night Football broadcast, and I couldn't stand it. An hour and 10 minutes of them talking about Jake Browning's life story. I muted the game and started listening to the radio broadcast. They ran a crap ton of screens, man. Crap ton of screens. And that's why Browning's pass completion was so high. But our linebackers and our safeties and our corners could not tackle. They could not tackle. So the screens worked because the first guy getting to the ball, who's responsible for it being a gain of 0, was missing the tackle. And they were getting 5 to 6 yards every play. And even more. The tackling was bad. The blocking was bad. And Trevor played really well. Evan Ingram played really well. Josh Allen played really well. And it's just like, it's a team game. It's a team game. You Florida State fans know more than anybody. It's a team game. You can't just remove one player. Like, Florida State deserved to be in the Final Four. Because it's a team game. Basketball is a team game. And if you lose one player, it's still a team game. Not to mention a 22-on-22 football game. You got to be able to do it all. Shay says, let's go, Jason. Trevor continuing his good play. I know. And thank God it was just a sprain. In the moment, I had a really good view of Trevor slamming his helmet down in pain. I had to take probably a couple minutes to just kind of like collect my thoughts and like everything. I was down in that moment, pretty low. Pretty low. Charlie Boy says Walker Little's liability. Volkfang says the defense is amazingly talented, but yesterday they were unusually flat, unenergetic, and looked absolutely lost. That's one thing I will mention about this defense. They never come out like high energy, ever. And they are talented. But you watch other defenses and they're dancing on the field pre-snap. They're getting each other hyped up. This defense is like, it's like a business trip every time they're on the field. I more subscribe to the notion of you got to get hyped. If you're going to play defense, you're playing the hardest position in football, playing defense. You're at such a disadvantage rules-wise. You got to get up for it. I thought Greg Jr. played a terrible game. It just, not good. Maybach Tony says, when Trevor tried to walk and went down, the gasp sound in that stadium was scary to hear. Shay says Parker Washington cost us a timeout, possibly Trevor's injury, a fumble. He recovered, but also caught everything and had a great touchdown. Typical rookie day. There is some positives, boys. There is some positives, right? Like some things that come to mind is Parker Washington. I thought he actually, he looked like a rookie, and not only is he a rookie, he's a rookie playing in his first few games. Like he was injured all beginning of the season. He's just now getting healthy. I thought Press Taylor did a good job with the play calls. It's not his fault we can't run the ball at the middle. All this crapping on Press Taylor. You try calling an offense where you cannot run the ball between the tackles. It's insanely difficult, and they still found a way to score 31 points. So I think the play calling was better. Josh Allen is obviously like a beast, probably a top edge rusher in the NFL, at least this season, anyways. I think C.J. Beathard was okay. 9 for 10. What I liked about Beathard is he's not afraid to take deep shots. His one incompletion was a deep shot to Zay Jones, where Zay Jones kind of got lost. He threw that deep ball to Calvin Ridley. They got called back on the holding. So I do like the fact that Beathard isn't afraid to push the ball down the field. Okay? Like, I think he is one of the better backups in the NFL. He showed a little bit of mobility in this game, where being able to scramble if he needs to. Like, if there's a guy I want to stop gap a couple weeks where Trevor's injured, I like Beathard. I do. Like, I think we're okay. If we can get Trevor back before the playoffs, I think we're okay with Beathard. And I think Zay Jones and Evan Ingram are still playing pretty well. They're still playing pretty well. Evan Ingram finally got in the end zone. So I think there is some positives. The bottom line is we were one questionable holding call away from winning. Even though the defense was bad and Trevor had a bad injury, we're okay. We're okay. Like, we have a few more bad plays we're going to show before we get to the positives, but I think we're okay. 100 miles per hour says, channel member 100 miles per hour says, and Gregory Jr. is garbage. He did not look good. Volkfang says defense is at least 50% emotion, and that's seriously lacking. C. Breacher says it felt like we missed Cam Robinson's energy. Now, C. Breacher brings up a good point, man. Cam Robinson is like the lightning rod of this team. He's the one flexing on dudes when he pancakes them. He's the one dancing on the field pre-snap. You got to have that somewhere. And you're right. You're right, man. Crossbones says, man, I swear we aren't allowed to have a good things in Jacksonville. I tried to, like, in hindsight, look back and be like, hey, at least we got to go to the game. At least I got to hang out with friends. I had a great time. A bunch of my friends came, like I said. We had a great time until the Trevor injury. We really did. That dude, Evan, says, I think this game showed how important Trey Herndon is to our scheme and how much he's improved. 100 miles per hour says, without Josh Allen, we have like 4 wins. Shay says, thanks for the shout out on the work. The ref was staring at the tablet forever. I'll gladly go to the Pro Bowl, but we'll have to pass because the Jags will be in the Super Bowl. Thank you, Shay. All right, let's get to some more plays here. Shay did a great job, by the way. All right. Here is just Tyson Campbell. And again, I know he's injured. He's injured, right? He's not full speed. And this is, you can't really see him because my fat head's in the way. He's one-on-one with Jamar Chase on the outside. You can't really ask for much more than that. Your best corner versus a top corner in the league versus a top receiver in the league. And this is going to happen. But Tyson Campbell gets beat here. Just a straight vertical route. I think he's going to stem in maybe and then release out. No, just a straight release out. Okay. I mean, this is old Tyson Campbell right here. This is old Tyson Campbell losing the ball in the air. But this happens, okay? This happens when you're playing defensive back. When you're going to play man-on-man on the outside, this is going to happen, especially the way the NFL is made up and things like that. But you'd love to see Tyson Campbell make a play there because it led to a touchdown. But I'm not going to beat him up too much here because, again, it happens. It does happen here. I thought Janoris Jenkins had a horrible game. Here we're going to see him just completely whiff on a tackle. And it's not even that he whiffs on the tackle here. This is just, again, just poor effort. Like, I'm okay with, like I just talked about on the last play. Tyson Campbell, that was good effort. He got beat. That's going to happen. This is poor effort right here. Like, I don't know what he was looking at, what he was seeing here. This was a huge play in the game, man. And, like, if you tackle him here, we're okay. Live to see another play. We can hold him up. But this is just a poor effort. Like, you got to be better than that. You've got to be better than that. Here we're going to see, and this happened to us a lot here, man. This happened to us a lot. Oluokun and Lloyd had terrible games in pass pro. Like, terrible games. They got lost. They bit on play action so much. I only clipped a few plays, but it happened a lot, okay? Like, okay, so they're going to be they're in man coverage. You can't see the all 22, or you can't see the sideline, but they're in cover 1 man, okay? You have Andre Sisco in the middle of the field here. They're playing man. So what that means is you have your man covered everywhere, see? So you have Tyson Campbell here. He's going to motion out. That tells us that he's in man because he's going to go out here. Motion's in, sorry. Okay, so motion's in, he follows him. All right, so now the job here is Oluokun is in man here and Lloyd is in man here. Now, they could have some sort of like pass-off scheme where they pass it off, but it doesn't matter because even if that is the scheme, the first guy in is Devin Lloyd's. Okay? Both of them are going to bite on the run pretty bad here. And, I mean, that's just not reading your keys. That is not reading your keys. Gives up the first down. Listen, when you're a defensive player, especially a linebacker, your number one priority at the snap is to read your keys, okay? Yes, you're watching this triangle here, okay? But if it's a pass play, your read is this tight end right here. Okay, this tight end does a little cross. I mean, you got to know he's releasing on a route right here, Devin Lloyd. That's too late. That's too late to recognize that he's running. He need to be looking at him pre-snap. Big first down we gave up right there. Big first down. Here again, they're just going to run the ball down our throats. We're going to have a huge missed tackle in the gap right here. I mean, that's 2 guys, Lloyd and Oluokun, man. You cannot miss this tackle. You can't have 2 people. You can't let him run through you like that. Horrible games from our linebackers. And I've been gassing these 2 guys up all year. And they're good players. They just had a really, really bad game. on this play right here. Great play call, great play design from the offense. Calvin Ridley's going to get beat. He's going to hold. Is that the worst hold in the world? No, but it's holding. It's holding. You can't do that. You can't get your arms outside of their shoulder pads, outside of their framework. And again, this isn't a lack of skill. This is he didn't get his feet. He didn't block him. Big play that came back right there. While we're on Calvin Ridley. Not great blocking here, okay? Trevor drops the snap. I mean, this play is doomed from the start. Okay, this play is doomed from the start. Not great blocking. Trevor just throws it up to Calvin Ridley, which I love, and he just drops it. Again, this isn't a lack of skill. This is a lack of focus. Those are the plays you got to make, man, if you're going to win. Brandon Sheriff here. We talked about Walker Little being bad. Brandon Sheriff, what are you doing? What are you doing, buddy? No one's running the ball with that type of blocking. And again, this is effort. This is all effort right here. No one does a good job. I mean, I singled him out, but nobody does a good job blocking there. Here we go. Backed up in our end zone right here. Great route by Zay Jones. I mean, I don't know if this is on Zay Jones and we're not tracking the ball in the air. I don't know if Trevor didn't throw it enough to the sideline. I would imagine this route was a called corner route. So maybe a little bit of blame to go on both of them. But, dude, that's a tutty. And it kind of looks like he loses leverage. It looks like he kind of loses balance. He loses the ball in the air. He's fading to the sideline for some reason. Trevor probably should have thrown it more to the sideline. It's a 50-yard throw. I guess we give him a little bit of credit. But, like, again, like, this isn't the Bengals beating us. This is the Jags beating themselves. And this is why we're hard on them in the film room. And again, I'm not saying anything the coaches aren't saying in the film room. Coaches are saying the exact same thing I'm saying. They are. All right, we'll get to some of these comments, and then I'm going to get to the good plays. There was some good plays, and there are some things to build off of. Okay, we can be real. Timmy Devil knows it. We can be real. We can be real about the things we need to improve. But we can also be real in that this team is still good. This team is still 8-4. This team still has first place in the AFC South. This team still has some huge wins. Okay? The sky is not falling. The sky is not falling. Okay? Every team has bad games. Okay? We're okay. We're okay. Okay, let's have a bad game. I'm okay with taking a day to grieve. Take a day to grieve. Bad game. Got to be better than that. Won't win very many playoff games playing like that. But we've seen this team play better. And we know that they can play better. And we hope that they will play better. Again, sorry guys. There's a lot of comments tonight, which I appreciate. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. I know you guys are just like kind of jacked up about this as I am. So I know there's a lot of comments, and I'm sorry if I missed them. I really am. Volk Fang says, not good enough, though. Made it too close, and then the refs matter. C. Breacher says, did you see Walker Little not try to help Trevor up after Trev went down? I do have a little issue with Walker Little's energy on the field, and maybe that's stupid. Maybe it is. But as someone that's spent a lot of time around football, as a coach, as a player, there's something to having some juice on the field. And Walker Little, again, he never has any juice. And I know that's tick-tacky. And who am I to say that to Walker Little? But try it maybe. Try getting a little excited. Try pancaking a dude every once in a while. Try hyping up your teammates. Try helping your teammate up. Maybe. This isn't Stanford anymore. This is the NFL. Chris W. says Jags defense can't deal with the noise of a home game. That was stupid. I'm ignoring, not your comment, I'm ignoring what you're referring to. I think that comment got taken out of context. Volk Fang says Walker Little has looked like the worst teammate every time he's gotten Trevor hurt. 100 miles per hour says, if we bench Jenkins for Antonio Johnson, I wouldn't even be mad, dude. And it sucks because you look back at last season and the plays that he made against the Cowboys and things like that. And you're like, man, you want to like the guy. But that's just, not only has he not been impactful at all this year, he's doing things like that. Chase says, had to talk Timmy off the bridge during the team's live chat last night. Bro, more power to you, bro. I don't know if I could do that. I don't know if I could convince Timmy Devil off of the bridge. You're a good man for that. Chris W. says, while the offense thrives on the noise, why the Jags offense is good at away games? Maybe. 100 miles per hour says, how is Balky's seat not hotter than the sun right now? Timmy says, last night was rough, man. It was. Mike Caldwell can't say this is imposters because we've done this several times now. Yeah. Shay says, every time we have the chance to change the narrative in primetime, we come out and play poorly. This should have been a coming out party, 35-13 type of game. So frustrating. I'm with you. Max Brown says, the thing I never have and don't think I will ever understand is how often Josh and Trayvon dropped back into coverage. I didn't clip a play, but there was a play where Trayvon dropped into coverage, and he actually turned his head and realized that he was like dropping to like a dead zone and tried to adjust his drop, and they still dropped it over top of him. And then I watched Cincinnati zone drop with their DNs effectively to the exact right spot. So we do struggle with that for some reason. Channel member BT says, I jumped on late. Tough loss. What's your view on Ridley end-around plays? I feel like they are usually for a loss. The thing about the Ridley end-around plays is they work if you can run the ball between the tackles. But we've put that on film so much. We've used it a lot now. And teams know they don't even have to blitz to stop our interior run, that they can sit on those runs to the edge. So teams are just sitting on it now. So our inability to run the ball up the middle is affecting everything. So it's not Ridley on those plays. It's the fact that we can't run the ball up the middle. I like Ridley on those end arounds. I like getting the ball in his hands. He's very fast, and he's made big gains on those plays. But when a team can just set the edge and not have to worry about coming down the line to get an inside run, it makes stopping that very easy. Timmy Devil says, it's so frustrating fighting for this team's honor. Hell, my honor, my dignity. Well, what's the point of dignity nowadays? I have no pride, you know. Volkfang says, Cam is the only offensive lineman that has any juice in that room. Gidry says, did Doug take Little out of the game because he hurt Trevor? I know he got hurt. He hurt his hamstring. Yeah, he's hurt. Luke Fortner needs to put weight on the bar when he lifts. I don't know if he knows that. I don't think it's weakness, man. I think it's just effort. Like, when you look at players' scouting reports when they're coming out of college, if they're a position that blocks from time to time, whether it's a receiver, a running back, or an offensive lineman especially, they're always going to mention like willing blocker. He has a strength or a weakness. You have to be a willing blocker. You have to be somebody that's not afraid of contact. And again, it sounds ludicrous talking about an NFL player being afraid of contact, but how many plays have we watched of Walker Little where he's just unwilling to block? I feel like I'm taking crazy pills here. If I'm a coach and I have a semi-viable backup for Luke Fortner, I'm putting him in. So either they don't, or I'm missing something. Charlie Boy says, shoot, we might win in Cleveland undefeated on the road. Shay says, why did they run Ridley to the short side of the field that had a tight end and a wide receiver already on that side? It was later in the third quarter, I believe, but it flew. Yeah, I don't know, man. Maybe they thought they could use him as blockers. I mean, Luke Farrell has if there's another positive, Luke Farrell's really had a great year this year as a blocker and a receiver. We forgot about Luke Farrell. He's had a great year. I want an offensive lineman that has like 30 character concerns in the draft. I mean, they did the right thing by drafting Anton Harrison. They really did, but maybe they should have spent a little bit more draft capital on that interior. I mean, we've talked about this before, man. You signed Cam Robinson to a long-term deal. You drafted Walker Little. You traded for Ezra Cleveland. You drafted Luke Fortner in the 3rd round. You signed a big deal to Brandon Sheriff, and you drafted Anton Harrison in the 1st round. Like, they've put the equity into the offensive line. They just chose the wrong people. Montana says, bro needs some smelling salts or pre-workout or something. I'll get him on that. I don't care what it takes. Take some PEDs. It helps Cam. I don't know. If Cooper Hodges is available to come off the IR, I would do it if he played center at App State. He looked great in camp. He legit can't be worse. Brandon Waters. What up, Brandon? Oh, man. Brandon, I'm glad you were in town, man. Sorry you couldn't see a win, man. He says, yo, sorry about the L, my brothers in teal. We're going to be all right. Kirk and the other injuries are big hits, but next one up and we ride. Trevor's going to be fine. He's literally made of gold. Stay up. Thank you, Brandon. I love that comment. I love that. It's beautiful. Well said. I agree with you completely. This is a next man's up league. Like I said at the beginning of the show, it's hard to find a team in the NFL over the last 2 years that hasn't had to use their backup quarterback for an extended amount of time. It's hard to find a team in the NFL that doesn't deal with injuries. When we played the Bills, that team was injury riddled. So it's part of it. You have to have depth. You have to have good people coming off the bench. You do. That's the modern NFL. Yes, we'd love to have all 22 to start the season in this season, but that's not reality. You got to have good depth. That's why drafting those later rounds matters. That's why free agency matters. That's why coaching matters. Got to be able to put guys out there. You can't have Gregory Jr. out there, drafted in the 5th round, looking completely lost. You can't have, free agency signings, extensions like Rayshon Jenkins, extensions like Brandon Sheriff, where we guarantee the entire length of their contract, and they're our biggest liabilities. I'm getting worked up, boys. I'm getting worked up. I need a sip. C. Breacher says the last 3 games, Trevor has played like the best quarterback in the league. All right, let's get to some positive plays. I've totally abandoned the film here. Let's get back to some film. All right, I only got 6 good plays. Sorry, guys. I'm sorry. That's all I can find. All right, we talked about Josh Allen. Josh Allen has been really good. This is the interception. I mean, this was more just a bad play from Cincy than it was a good play from Josh Allen. But if we're going to blame players for having bad plays, we have to give credit to good players for having good plays. All right. Here we go. Josh Allen. I mean, look how he just sits in the backfield right here. This is the 2nd time they ran this throwback too. Got him. Great job. Should have scored, but we'll take it. We'll take that right there. Josh Allen again. 4th down, by the way. Okay, I always like to give a little context. 4th down. Speed rush, unblocked. Not his fault. Still got to make the tackle, and he does. Oh, I'm sorry. This is the wrong play. He is blocked on this play. So let's give him a little more credit. And Trayvon Walker does come in from the opposite side, too, as well. Great job. Great job. Those are our two edges doing their job right there. Orlando Brown Jr.'s had a tough year so far. That was the first half sack. Here's the one where he's unblocked. Great job. Hey, not his fault. Not his fault he was unblocked. And that was a big part of the game, too. That was late in the game. Great job. Keeps him wrapped up. Excellent job there, Josh Allen. Excellent job. Excellent job. Parker Washington had a great game. I didn't clip his kick return, which he did. He had a pretty good kick return here. Here's a great catch from Parker Washington right here. Trevor gets outside the pocket. Now, Beathard's not doing this, unfortunately. Beathard's not doing this, which is what kind of hurts the injury here. But great catch right here. I mean, that's a hard catch to make for a guy who hasn't played very much. Comes back to the ball, contested catch. Defender even fights for it there at the end. He has to hold on to it. Nice job. And, of course, obviously the touchdown was amazing. We're going to see him coming to the back of the end zone, the little bobbled catch here. I thought live this was not a catch, and I was in this end zone. So I thought this was not a catch, and he did. He caught it. How about a little positives here? Okay. Here's a little positive here. So he makes the catch. Okay. Check out the camera girl. All right. Camera girl's holding camera 1 in her hand. She realizes in this moment, I need to take a picture right here. Okay? So you got to put yourself in the mind of this camera girl, right? She's been sitting in the back of the end zone, waiting for a good picture. Like, this is her job. Okay? She's like, in this moment, she's realizing, oh crap, this is a picture right here. There's probably a lot of emotions going through her head. There's probably a lot of things going through her mind. And she's holding camera 1. And watch the skill here from camera girl. Okay? Changes cameras mid-run. Watch this. Changes cameras. Nope, wrong camera. Bam! That is just, between Shay and camera girl, the product around the field is hands down better than the product on the field. I mean, what a great job. In this moment, this is a high stress moment for her. Just shout out to the camera girl for making the quick change here to camera 2. Take a look here. Nope. Great job. Round of applause for camera girl. Round of applause right there. Travis Etienne, I like this touchdown right here. I mean, hey, we can't run up the middle, so we just got to toss it out in space. I see you, Evan Ingram, on that block. I see you out there eating. If only our lineman could block like that, Evan Ingram, we'd be straight. That's all I have. Those are all our good plays. Thank you, camera girl, for giving us some good plays here. Oh, man. What does Shay do? Oh, he's the replay guy. 100 miles per hour says, it's built is what you say when you go 13-4 and lose in the championship game, not 9-8 carried by your quarterback. Balky, please leave. Timmy Devil says, like I said on the team chat last night, WTF did Hamilton put on the tape that made him deserve of a big contract? To be fair, he did not have a good game this week, but he did have a good season last season. He did. Last season, he was pretty good. He did his job very effectively. He collapsed the pocket from the middle. He created a lot of pressures. He was very good against the run. He did also deal with a pretty serious injury plus an infection this year. So this might be a lost year for Devon Hamilton, which I hate to say because one of my favorite Jags, character-wise. Great guy. We'll see. Parker Washington this is from 100 miles per hour, was contested catch monster at Penn State. He has insane concentration. Breacher says, Ridley is not making that catch. Volkfang says, camera girl's coming in clutch. Dude, good for her, dude. I hope she got a picture that helps her career. 100 miles per hour says, Evan shows up every game with max effort. He really does, man. Evan Ingram touchdown. Oh, did I clip that? I didn't. Wow, look at me. Not clipping good stuff here. Matthew Guidry says, can't trust McManus now at all. God, that miss sucked. Chris W., I played Evan Ingram's touchdown, didn't I? Or no, I didn't. Oh, God, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. Timmy says, I drank a lot of tequila last night. Tequila's tough, man. I respect tequila drinkers. That junk. Now, if you drink like high-end tequila, so I've heard, like $50 to $60 tequila, that junk's good. But you start getting into that like bottom shelf stuff. I don't know, man. Don't know. C. Breacher says Josh Allen is 1 sack away from tying Calais Campbell's season record. I love that. Guy says the Bengals made our D-line look like kids. Their Bengals O-line played really well. They really did. And it's so frustrating. Now, they did get the ball out quick. Like I said, a lot of screens. But, yeah, really the linebackers and the safeties, corners. The back 7 played horrible. Absolutely horrible. Volkfang says, I'm really impressed with Washington's game. Makes me feel less bad about Kirk getting hurt. I know. I like Kirk, though, man. I do. It's sad, man, because he's such a good player, and like that one you knew. I thought hopefully he just took a shot to the wrong spot and it just kind of hurt, but it's something more serious. I mean, Doug Pearson pretty much said he's going to miss the rest of the season. That dude Evan says, let's not forget we're 8-4 and our quarterback is coming back soon. We will be back in no time. Let's just focus on the next week and fix what we can control. Very good. I'm gonna try. We don't have much time on this show left, so let's take a deep breath here. We got all the bad energy out. That's fine. We got all the bad energy out. We got onto the players that needed to get onto. We grieved for 24 hours. It's in the past. We're done with it. We're done with the Bengals game. We're done with the Monday night game. There was a lot of hype around it. It is what it is, okay? Yes, it meant more to us being a Monday night game. Yes, it meant more to us to be a statement game. Yes, it means more to us because Trevor got hurt and Kirk got hurt and Little could be hurt. That does mean a lot to us. But if you back the scope up enough, like Evan says, we're still 8-4. Trevor has a miraculous ability to heal from injuries. No hyperbole, more than any other player I've ever seen in my entire life. Going back to Clemson, even. He'll be back. CJ Beathard is an veteran backup. He knows the offense. You know, a lot of people want Nathan Rourke to come in. He knows like probably 5 plays, okay? You want CJ Beathard, I promise you. Beathard knows the whole playbook. He knows where the receiver is supposed to be, and he can throw the ball deep, okay? He's who you want right now. We're okay. We have a coach that had won a Super Bowl with a backup quarterback. We're okay. We have a defense that if we remove this game and then maybe remove like the Texans and then, maybe remove, but they're good besides then. They're hot and cold, so they can be hot again. The world's not over. We're fine. Matthew Guidry says, Don Julio, all-time best tequila, no question about it. I don't know, man. You're talking to the wrong person, man. I wish I liked tequila. I wish I did, man. I wanted to. It's the healthiest liquor. It seems like a good time, right? But it's just disgusting. It's just absolutely disgusting. Volkfang says, Kirk is better now, but I don't feel awful about having to go with Washington. Has anyone asked about Walker Little? Doug Peterson said he's dealing with a hamstring and they're going to evaluate him in a couple days. That's what Doug Peterson does. He doesn't talk much about anything. He's somehow Bill Belichick without being Bill Belichick when it comes to answering questions. 100 miles per hour says, bro, not going to lie, Walker Little can stay injured. But now, unfortunately, you're going to have like Blake Hance out there, and I'm a little worried about that. Brandon Waters says, yo, are we playing Joe freaking Flacco next week? What universe is this? So the local radio was going through all the quarterbacks that were playing on Sunday, and like more than half of the teams are playing some backups that shouldn't be playing. So we're in good company. C. Breacher said Ian Rappaport said that Kirk is coming back for the Super Bowl. Okay. Shay says bold prediction, Trevor's going to play against the Ravens. We've seen quarterbacks come back from that grade 1 ankle sprain. Patrick Mahomes, Mac Jones come to mind that had that grade 1 ankle sprain and came back literally the next week. I fear that Trevor's got a grade 2. If he does, then precautionary reasons, sit out in the Ravens game, take as much time as he needs. I mean, this team could limp into the playoffs, no pun intended. They could limp in and still have a successful postseason if Trevor's healthy. So I don't care about having home field advantage. I'd rather have Trevor than home field advantage. C. Breacher says, I swear Trevor has superpowers. 100 miles per hour says, next week I promise I won't shit on CJ Beathard no matter how bad he is. 100 miles per hour, I have a hard time believing that. I have a hard time believing that. But listen, great goal. We got to set goals, right? Got to set goals. Volkswagen says, Trevor is Gumby. He'll be okay. I'm sure we'll be okay. We just need to play up to our talent level. Maniac Slap says, damn, I missed the whole show. He says, yeah, that sucked all the way around. As long as we get Trevor back, we're good. We just got to hold on till then. That's all right, Maniac. No worries. You can go back and watch it on VOD. It was a good show, I think. We got after some guys. We gave some credit to some guys. We kept it real. Brandon Waters says, I'm buying you a pour of some decent tequila next time I see you. Come to the dark side, Jason. I want to, Brandon. I want to. And like I said, I've had high-end tequila. Like a buddy has like a whole like bar, and he has like high-end tequila, and it looks like whiskey. It's like brown, and that junk was good. But I'm not in a place financially where I can be drinking high-end tequila very often. Richie Mack says, bring in Nick Foles. Someone asked Doug on the press conference today about Nick Foles. That's insane. 100 miles per hour says, yeah, Blake Hans is poop, dude. I don't know. Volkfang says, we're getting close to last year's record of 66 unique starting quarterbacks. Oh. I fear that Trevor won't sit out no matter how injured he is. I don't really want him to play next week. I think we can beat the Bengals without freaking a quarterback. We could wildcat and beat the Bengals. And I know we said the same thing about the Bengals. I know. But I think the Browns are just in a different situation. Yes, their defense is good. But I don't fear their offense at all. Although they have the recipe now. Throw screens. Linebackers are going to have to tackle next week. But I think they will. Because for just some reason, they don't bring the energy until they're called out. And then now that they're being called out, they'll bring the energy. And it's just constant up and down. At this point, we should wish for only away games. I feel like Trevor could get shot in the face and be questionable. Jarrett Williams says, hey, I'm late, but you're real late, Jarrett. You're real late. We're like 52 minutes in. How many times 100 miles per hour cut Tank Bigsby tonight? That one got me, Jarrett. All right, Sea Breacher. Isn't it interesting that the more the NFL protects their quarterbacks, the more they get injured? That's spooky, Sea Breacher. That's a spooky comment right there. Just put flags on them, I'm telling you. Shay says the Browns are giving up 11 points on average at home. It's going to be 40s and raining. That's not good. What are Little and Kirk's injuries? So Little has a hamstring, and according to Doug Peterson, he's going to be evaluated in a couple days. Kirk has a core injury that's going to require surgery. It's the only information that we have. I've erased Taint Budsby from my mind. If we get to the Super Bowl, we need to cut. Jeez. Our defense seems to go all out to protect the deep ball despite who's playing quarterback. Well, Guy, I think the bigger issue this week was the tackling. Tackling was atrocious. Absolutely atrocious. Matthew Guidry says, great show tonight, man. I'm out. Go Jags, baby. You know what, Matthew? I'm out too. That's going to be the end of this show. I am having trouble staying positive here, okay? I don't think that it's been a very long time. I haven't fully grieved yet. I haven't gone through all the stages of grief yet. By Friday's show, I'll be good. I'll be good, all right? So I apologize if I was a little bit down tonight. A little upset. But that being said, in spite of my depression, I genuinely appreciate all of you guys being here. I had a fun time talking Jags. Thank you to all you guys that were in the chat, especially the channel members, Shay, 100 miles per hour, Sea Breacher, Volkfang. We had DT was in the chat. BT was in the chat. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for the $2 super chat from Montana. Thank you guys. And listen, all of you guys over here tonight, thank you. I really appreciate it. I love talking Jags with you guys. You guys are awesome. You guys make this a lot of fun for me, and you get me through some tough times. So I really want to genuinely thank you guys for that. Make sure to like the video, hit the thumbs up button. That helps a lot. You can also tell a friend. I'm not good enough to say that. So tell a friend. Talking Jags. I'll see you guys on Friday night. We're going to preview the Browns game. I'm pumped. We're good. High energy. Good vibes. I'll see you then. And until then, go Jags.